Hello, students. It's Miss Martin, the last week of school. I have some students in here who are listening to me record. Let me show you.
Hey, you. Hey, you. You got a name on it.
Whatever, Kevin. Anyway, so it's going to be interesting. Let's see. Okay, guys. So legit, we are at the end. Okay, this is your last week of JECA, college, last week of junior year. So this video is all about summer suggestions. I have sent this to your parents in a newsletter so that everybody's on the same page and aware. Let me share the screen with you so you can see what I'm talking about. So these are all of the modules. Look at this, 19 weeks of work that you guys have done. This right here, summer suggestions, will be published after I do this video. So starting off at the top, basically, you really need to take a couple of weeks at least to rest, take some time off, do some fun stuff, whatever that is for you. But you know, once you get into your summer, at some point, you're going to want to start thinking about your future, the goals that you have for your senior year and beyond high school, okay? Because you're really, really close to the end. So there's a summary here of junior year, basically all of the things that we did or all of the things that you should have done. I know that junior year is typically the hardest year, not just because of the coursework, but then you're also talking a lot about college prep. You're talking about, you know, after high school, what happens. And so it could be very overwhelming. But you still have time. I want you to enjoy the summer. I want you to enjoy your senior year. But I do also want you to think about how far you come, like what you've done, how far you've come, and then where you're actually trying to get to, okay? So you can read over this summary. I know that it's been very difficult to get you updated GPAs and ranks. I am hoping that by the time we get back in the fall, that that's all been squared away and that you do have current GPAs and ranks. You need those to apply for school. So let's see what happens there, okay? So then here are the summer suggestions. There's 9 total. So volunteering and community service still should be somewhere at the top of your list. I know that for our class, you guys did freshman year, so you should have 10 for freshman year. Your sophomore year was cut in half, so they're not counting that one. They're not counting your junior year, but they are going to count your senior year. So you should have a total, instead of 40 hours, you're gonna have a total of 20 hours of community service that you need to turn in. So many of you are probably already finished with that requirement. So just keep that in mind that if you haven't done any, you have to do 20 by the time that you graduate. Job shadowing somebody in a career that you aspire to be in is always a great idea. I don't know how COVID regulations are going to be over the summer, but if you can and you want to, you can job shadow someone, you can visit college and universities. I think that's one at the top of the list, just because, you know, unfortunately our class didn't get the field trips to the colleges like we usually do. You didn't get to see like a university in action. So it's really important for you all to get out there, at least visit, you know, one university that's on your top 10 so that you can get a feeling of what the campus is like. and you know, where you might live for the next 2 or 3 years, okay? Over the summer, you might want to gather your FAFSA documents with your parents, so that way when October 1 comes around, you have a file and you're ready to just type stuff in for that. Don't forget about spending some time studying for the SAT. You guys are scheduled to take the SAT in October again of 2021. I am not saying that you need to get one of those booklets and go through a whole entire test. One question per day is literally all that you need. One question per day is, it's like conditioning. You know, if you're an athlete, you're going to train every day. You might, if you're doing basketball, you might be like, okay, I'm going to dribble today back and forth, back and forth. It's conditioning what you need. So studying for SAT, one question a day is all you need to do. And you can get those off of College Board. You all have logins, you can practice that way. Applying for scholarships has never stopped. That's something that you can always do. Applying to a scholarship doesn't always mean that you're going to get the money. It's a possibility that you'll get the money. But if you don't apply at all, you're not getting anything. So over the summer, my recommendation is 1 scholarship per day. That might seem like a lot to you, but you really need to be looking for money outside of the money that's already going to be coming to you, just because you're going to be accepted to the university, just because of your GPAs and your ranks. So my recommendation is that you apply for 1 scholarship per day. I did put a link here to Cafe College scholarships. This is a local it's a local business that helps students. It's like college prep, but in one building. And so they have scholarships here, like here's a general scholarship, students with disabilities scholarship, LGBTQ students, graduate students, elementary and middle school. And then here are some links to other places that you can find scholarships to. So I did provide that because I do think that's a useful website. They have workshops over the summer. If you wanted to attend any of those, you could. Number 7, take private lessons, an online class in an area of interest. Now would be a good time to learn something that you've always wanted to learn how to do, just away from the school environment. If you can't take an online class, you can always YouTube stuff. Everything out there that you would like to learn is there. Number 8, your NLC class schedule should already be available. So you're going to know like who your professors are already. You can look up a sample syllabi for your professor using the concourse. I've shown you how to do that in the past. You're going to click on it and just fill in this information here. It's Northeast Lakeview. You can look for spring, like past courses, spring 2021, and then search for, you know, English 23, 23, whatever the course number is. And you can find a sample syllabus for Professor Adams, for Bernard, whoever your teacher is going to be. It's just a good indicator on what you might be doing in the fall with your classes. All of your classes, you could do that. I also put in a reading list. It's a comprehensive reading list of American and British literature pieces that you are going to be introduced to next year. So when you click on this, it takes you to the recommended reading list for college-bound students. If you scroll down, you're going to see all the different authors. So Jane Austen, Charlotte Bronte, all of these authors are people that you're going to see in your American or British literature classes. So, and then if you click on one of these, it'll take you to, here's Great Gatsby. It's going to talk about the Great Gatsby. It has questions. So there's things to read if you do want, you know, if you're totally bored and you want to look ahead to what might be coming. Okay. So those are the suggestions for the summertime. Again, you know, it's not like you're going to school in the summertime. It flip-flops. So while you're in school, it's like 80% school, 20% family, home, fun. In the summer, it switches. So you should be having fun and relaxing 80% of your time, and then 20% of your time should be spent on, you know, keeping your brain current with new things or getting ready for your next semester. Okay. Looking ahead to the fall, I put a lot of stuff on here. This is to keep you like on track so that you know what's coming, what you're going to be responsible for each month in the fall. So I won't go through it too much in depth. You can read this over. But the main thing here is that we are going to start applying to your top 10 universities when you come back. Everything needs to be done. Okay, so you'll probably have a week to gather all of your materials, transcripts, resumes, essays, SAT scores, ACT scores, all of that you need to have access to because you're going to start applying. I did put a sample application link. So when you click on this, it takes you to a freshman. You are a freshman entering college. You are not a transfer student, okay? The very first question on this application is, what is your social security number? I cannot help you with that. If you're literally stuck on question 1 and you don't have that information, you can't move forward in the application. So my recommendation is that you go over this application with your parents, get whatever information that you need. Either you're writing it down, you're memorizing it, like socials usually are memorized, so that when you do come back, it's easy either to cut and paste from a document that you have, or you know it and you can type it in quickly, okay? This application is 9 pages long. It takes at least an hour to fill it in if you have everything that you need, okay? I will help you the most that I can, you know, but you really need to have all of the information. The very first time that we do this, it takes the longest. But after you do it one time, it takes 10 minutes to do the next application because all you do is cut and paste from the last one. Like it's already filled in and you just move on to the next school. Okay, so the first time will take the longest, all the rest of the times won't. So all students are required to apply to at least one school. My recommendation, college prep recommendation, is 10 for financial aid, leveraging, and negotiating your money, okay? So that's our recommendation. You're not gonna get accepted to all 10, maybe you get accepted to 7, then you can easily drop that down to 5 to 3, and then leverage the financial packages that these schools will start giving you, okay? You can apply to more than 10 if you really want to, but 10 is usually the number that we recommend, okay? So we are starting that right when you come in. It's gonna run into September. So just be prepared for that. So some students are like, Miss Martin, these colleges, they cost money and I cannot pay for the financial aid, or I cannot pay for the college application fees. That's fine, I understand that. I'm not asking you to pay money, I'm asking you to apply to colleges. So I've given you a list of schools in Texas that have no application fee. All of these link to the actual school. So you can go and look at that actual school. Let's click on St. Mary's. And then it takes you to the St. Mary's website where you can look to see how to apply, what are the requirements, that kind of thing. But these schools here in Texas, they do not have an application fee. These could be part of your top 10. Excuse me, if you do a little research on them and you find like it's something that you might like to attend, Texas Lutheran right up the street, you can use those. This link right here, it links to all of the universities in the United States with no application fee. So I split it up for you. There's a Texas-based one above, and then you have all of the United States schools. They're listed by state. So if you scroll down to where it says colleges that don't require application fees, they're here all by state. And this might not be all of them, but it's a good place to start. Okay, so September, we're continuing to apply to our top 10 at a pace of 1 to 2 per week until you reach your top 10. Remember, our goal is to be done by October 15th because that is the deadline for financial aid. Usually that is the deadline for financial aid. In order for you to qualify for financial aid, you want to have your apps in by October 15th. We're going to spend time preparing for the SAT in September. We're looking at your career focus, like what you would like to do as a career. And every single month you're applying to scholarships. You have to show proof. This is not for me. I do not care about the big number that goes at the end of this class. I want you to get some money so that you can go through school. A lot of you will receive scholarships. Those scholarships will not cover all of your tuition. It's going to cover part of your tuition. It's going to cover part of the cost. Okay? So anything that you can get money-wise on top of those is gravy. We want the gravy. Who wants to eat a dry piece of turkey? Nobody. We need to put the gravy on top, okay? This is for you. It is not for me. It is not for some JECA number. It's so that you can get the money that you need to pay for your education, okay? In October, FAFSA opens October 1st. So parents know, students know, we want to make sure you get some financial aid. The school day SAT is that month. We're focusing on careers still and scholarships. November, we're going to get on the phone and we're going to do a phone call. We're going to call and say, hi, my name is, I applied to your university. I want to make sure you got my application. A lot of these things will be in an email. So if you can show an email that says we received your application, you don't need to make a call. If you don't get an email, then you're going to have to call, and I'll help you do that in class. You are needing to document your college acceptances and your financial aid packages. As far as I know right now, I'm the one who's collecting that information. If the counselor has a different way for us to do that, then we'll know when we get to that point. But we do have to document acceptances, financial aid packages. So any mail that you receive that comes from a university, you need to save it, you need to bring it to class so I can make a copy for you. Okay, you keep your originals and I keep the copies. We're gonna do, you know, we do the questionnaires every year. This year, the last year is the teen archetype. We'll talk about that more. And then the last month, finals, you're gonna start receiving your college acceptances in December already. So by the end of this year, you're gonna know like which schools are accepting you, and some of them might already have financial aid packages for you. Definitely they come in this spring. Okay, so I just wanted to take a moment to congratulate you on, you know, finishing your junior year. I wish you the best this summer. I hope you guys do fun things and, you know, you stay safe. But I did want to just give you some things that you could do over the summer, so that you can start planning your senior year and looking beyond beyond high school, because you're almost there. Okay, guys, so if you have any questions for me, you can send me an email. I hope to see you in August. Okay, love you. Bye.